Good morning and welcome to today's uplifting conversation. And today I have the lovely Bridget, who is going to be talking about astrology for August. And Bridget and I were just having a conversation before we hopped on, talking about the energy that we're going to be dealing with. And Bridget's already feeling it really strongly. So I said, let's start with a Valor balance. So we're going to walk through a Valor balance. Now, Bridget, I think you've got I've got the roll on. So I'm going to put a little bit on my wrists. You can just drop some on, pop some on your wrist, because the Valor balance is fantastic just for bringing our energy down and helping us to balance. Yes. So what we do is just pop some on our wrists, and we give ourselves a beautiful little scent tent. Nice deep breath. So if you've got some Valor and you are listening, go and grab your Valor. And we're just going to sit quietly just for a moment. And if you don't have Valor, grab something that you have that will give you a beautiful sense of just sitting with the energy and allowing whatever comes to present, and allow it just to flow over you, flow through you, bringing back a state of equilibrium, a state of balance, state of harmony, knowing that essentially all is well in our world, even though we feel chaotic, stressed, angry, frustrated, and let those feelings come and let those feelings go.
Thank you.
How's that feeling?
I already feel more grounded and calm.
And it is that thing that we just sometimes have to take a moment, don't we? We just have to take a moment to give ourselves the time of day just to be peaceful and to let our head get out of that sense of frenzy and sense of overwhelm, which is so often what overtakes us. And particularly as women, we let those thoughts in our head just override whatever else is going on. So it is always a good practice just to bring ourselves back to our deep core. And we've got, oh my God, how funny is this? I was literally just thinking of the scent lemon, and then I got a notification that you were on live. So welcome, Colette Jade. So I'll just pop my phone up here so that I can see. Sometimes I can't see who is commenting. So Colette, I hope you have found your sense of peace and calming. And lemon is a great aroma for letting go of grief and letting go of anything that's we feel caught in. It is a great one to help us look at life with a fresh perspective. And I have a chart here that I've done up about the oils in the premium bundle, and how we can use them to activate our courage and bring in peace and calm. And the affirmation I've got with lemon is, I am free and complete. It offers you a fresh perspective. It helps you move forward in a new way and removes feelings of being stuck. It helps support you to let go of fear, grief, frustrations, emptiness, sadness, remorse, and self-blame. Now, how often do we take the blame for how we react, how we respond, what's happening in our world? And many of us who want to give our energy and support other people, we are so hard on ourselves. And we need to remember that just take a moment, take a breath, and allow yourself to step into a new place. And I'll just read my words that I've got for Valor. I am calm and strong. It aligns you with your courage, invoking peace, balance, and harmony. raises your ability to stand tall and strong and cope with adversity. It removes feelings of withdrawal and transmutes inner conflict. So I get the sense that Valor is going to be a very, very worthwhile oil for us to have on hand and navigate our way through August. What do you think about that, Bridget?
Oh my God, that is so very accurate. So this month we have, so today is the full moon. It was full at 4:30 this morning, Tassie time, and it is an Aquarian full moon. All right, so there's this rebellious nature in the air anyway. I mean, we're all, concerned for the greater good. And oh, there's your little grandson again. Hello.
This is little Quinn who's popped in to see what Nanny's up to.
Oh, beautiful. So yeah, we've got this full moon today that is, like I said, very humanitarian. We care for groups of people, but if somebody's encroaching on our boundaries, we can get very frustrated. It's Uranus, all right? So, I mean, it's sudden and electric, and I mean, there's great understanding. It's the higher octave of Mercury. But still, it's the don't restrict my freedom. Now, at the same time, we've actually got Lilith. So that Lilith is a perceived point. We call it Black Moon Lilith as well. But it's also where it's the woman scorned. So there could also be quite a lot of frustration and anger in the air at the moment. So Lilith is in Leo, conjunct the sun. And now the other day we had, I think it was Saturday morning, we had Venus retrograde conjunct Mercury. And Lilith was right in the middle. So with all the things that are happening right now, we could be looking around at our world and perceiving that our feminine energy is being squashed, or our freedoms are being restricted. Our authenticity is not being acknowledged. Maybe we've put up with things for a long time. Like, this is the combination of the full moon and Venus and her retrograde cycle, plus Mercury and Mars in Virgo. So there's a whole lot of mental frustration happening. And so we need to watch our words if we're in situations where our words could be detrimental in the long run. So short-term satisfaction, having a rah, but the long-term ramifications are not worth it. So we really do need to, especially today, just ground and center, get your valor out and be calm, and see if you can use your words wisely to articulate what the problem is. Like I said, it's not just the full moon, it's Venus, it's Mars and Mercury. There's just a lot of stuff where we might just blurt out angry words that won't actually get us as far down the path as a clarity conversation where we can air our grievances wisely. So, that's just for today. But this whole theme of Uranus runs through the month, and that Lilith as well. So, and Venus retrograde. So changes are happening based on, the things that we understand currently about us having a really good look at our own lives. So, and healing, moving forward from a healing perspective as well. So change is always scary, but Uranus is like, let's change just for the sake of it. So what do you reckon?
I reckon I've touched on some oils that are going to support us during these times. So, but what I want to do say is that, quite a few years ago, I was living in a situation where I can relate to all of those things you're saying, where you've got this frustration and anger, and you just want to break free of those restrictions that maybe you've allowed other people to put on you. If we're in a sticky situation where those around us are encroaching on our space, well, the important thing is to look at our boundaries and start learning how to create safety in our boundaries, so we're not being impeded upon by other people. And when we're not used to navigating our boundaries and we're not used to creating them and honoring them, is something that I think is very important. We tend to start feeling downtrodden overtaken, controlled, controlled by others, and out of control within ourselves. And I know that we are better off to, and you talked earlier on about the, those words that want to come out, and, that blast of that release of that anger and that frustration within. And I think part of our journey is to learn to honor that, that rising anger within us. How do we steer it in a direction that is going to work for us and not against us? And
Yeah,
if we learn to deliver our message in a way that other people will be open to receive it, it's going to land a lot more effectively, and we are going to get the results we want a whole lot quicker with a lot more ease and grace. So I think even in that, within that is also us making choices around our conscious communication, so that other people, when we are communicating with other people, that we are receptive, we are open, and start learning ways of receiving and not blocking and not pushing people away. And it is a fine art. I don't believe it's something most of us learned because we were told what to do. And I know what happened with me, because I had some domination in my family. And I don't believe I was taught how to think. Definitely my feelings were squashed. I even think they were squashed so much that later on in life, I had to learn how to feel and allow myself to feel, and tune into those moments where anger is, this roaring tornado that wants to overtake us. So let's look at some oils that are going to support that. Now, you talked about the divine feminine, and Lang Lang is the oil that is going to support your ability to be open to receive, but also to have that masculine energy where we can be assertive. It is a beautiful oil and a beautiful oil to put in blends as well. So the Lang Lang it's like the yin and the yang, and it's like the balance of that assertiveness, so that the aggressiveness is there, or that that rising anger that comes within. When we bring it up and allow it to be expressed, but maybe find some ways to express that, such as go outside and release it, but always bring in the love frequency as well, so that the anger doesn't become destructive and it works for us. Using our valor is very important. I like purification on my throat chakra to help with the messaging, to help support our ability to speak our truth in a purified way, so that once again it's effective in our communication. So there's a couple of oils that would be very supportive throughout these times.
Yes. So I love that. And you've just reminded me that Mars is actually in a feminine sign right now. So Mars is in Virgo, Mercury and Mars in Virgo are in a feminine sign, with Venus retrograde and all of the other things. So yes, women this month are definitely going to vocalize their dissatisfaction. Now on the 9th, we have Venus is going to be exactly square Uranus in Taurus. Taurus is Venus's sign. So we are standing up against things. We are saying no more. Things must change. I do not feel, because it's Taurus, I do not feel like this is the right thing for me to be doing. It's a block. Now, on that same day, the moon is going to move into Gemini. So just all of these things are like, we are learning to speak up for ourselves. So that, especially that exact square to Uranus, it's actually the second one in a series of 3 as Venus does her retrograde cycle. So this is the one where the first hit we were looking at what the situation actually looked like. This second hit is us going, enough, we're doing something about it. All right. So we're staking our claim. We're stopping whatever it is that is dissatisfying and making us not feel good. Is, this is the one of the turning points, one of many of the enlightened situations that we're going to be going through during this Venus retrograde. So August the 9th is another one where, like I said, we're going to be able to use our words, moving beautifully into the Sun exactly conjunct Venus retrograde. So the Venus Cazimi on Sunday the 13th. So this is a beautiful day. All right. So Venus is going to be, the sun is going to be shining its light directly through Venus. It's a superior conjunction. So the moon will be in Cancer that day. So it'll be a beautiful day to get together with family. You will be able to respect and tolerate all your family members whilst communicating effectively all the things that need to be said. Now, I'm very lucky. I'll be in Sydney on that day, and my son and his beautiful girlfriend will be having their baby shower. So yeah, he chose it on the most perfect day he could have. But yeah, so if it's a good day, so the 13th, if you have to do some sort of family thing, try that Sunday the 13th. It's a really nice day. There's also energy that day where we can stand tall and proud and express ourselves. And it's also a time to forgive and forget, but also celebrate and, and those boundaries that we are learning to establish will be held in place. So 13th, one of the best days of the year. I'm sorry, I just have to go deal with that. I'll back 2 seconds.
Excellent. So while Bridget's doing that, I want to talk about gathering, because I can't find it here. Hang on, it'll be up here. Gathering. This blend helps us to gather our energy so that we can feel, strong, whole, and complete. And it's also a beautiful blend for using when you want to gather those around you who are like in your tribe, or gather those around you who are supportive. Now, keep in mind, if we really want to make the most of the 13th and that family time that Bridget's talking about, we need to be diligent now so we're not to avoid breaking the bridge. So setting things in motion now so that this turbulence that's rising up inside us, go and sit quietly and ask how you can navigate that. Tune into your higher self, creator, God, and get those messages, because in anything we do, we need to remember that we're on a journey, and we're on this journey and have this direction in mind, or we have a sense of purpose. Where do we want to get to? So if I wanted to get to Sydney to meet Bridget, there would be no point in me blowing some bridges up now. So I can't cross that path to really make the most of the 13th of the month and that family time. And these are skills that we need to learn and pull into our bag of tricks. So just more confirmation, allow that anger to work for you. And if you wanted to expand the time, the joy with your family, joy would be a beautiful oil to be wearing on that day, so that when you are wearing it and other people smell the aroma of the joy. When I'm wearing joy, people just say, oh my gosh, that smells beautiful. And of course it's the rose amongst the other oils in here, but there's rose oil in joy. Now, bringing the joy in, or even using joy now, because if we can stand in the joy of our anger and learn to navigate that, we are going to be effective in rebuilding our bridges, or building the bridges, or being more efficient and more caring, more diligent about how we make the most of the communication as well. And joy is a great oil for bringing the joy out within ourselves, so that then the anger will be soothed, and it will also help you to channel your anger in the right way.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right. Well, continuing on with the theme of, like I said, the 13th is definitely the nicest of the month. So
Yes.
continuing on, just a couple of days later, we have the new moon on Wednesday, the 16th. And, we're going to have the sun and the moon conjunct in Leo at 23 degrees. Now, on one side of that conjunction, we have Venus still retrograde at 18 degrees. On the other side, we've got Lilith at 24. So Lilith is still conjunct she's in on the new moon, and there are definitely themes of independence, authenticity, the desire to be respected for your own true self and to assert your own power. So if you did play nice on the 13th, and you have been working towards making changes for the better for everybody involved, then there's new chapters going to be likely opening. And I mean, that's amazing. It's a new moon. Set your intentions. And, it's Leo. How can you shine brightly? How can your creative juices flow the most authentically as you can? And fly that freak flag, the opposition to Leo is Uranus, and is Aquarius, and Uranus and Aquarius are the weird ones. You can't be authentic if you're not allowing your weird to shine through. And who wants to be the same as everyone else, especially in this community? You're known for your uniqueness and your own perception. So, on that 16th, set your intentions to be as authentic as you can, and you will be pleasantly surprised and rewarded by the universe for that stance that you take. All right. So there could be unexpected surprise events coming from you standing up and going, this is actually what I think. This is actually what I want. I don't want to be a sheeple. I don't want to follow the crowd. I want to, stake my claim, fly my flag, and just be as me as I can. So, even Venus at that time, she's also saying no to to those escapist tendencies, and the things that we would normally do to distract ourselves are no longer as important. We're taking a stand. So this is that new moon. So on that day, just be as you can be.
Yep. So oils. Envision. So when we have our new moons and we are setting our intentions, envision is a fabulous blend to use while you are tuning in to the vision you want to bring in. What is it that you want to manifest and create? What is it that your heart desires, wants to bring into your reality? So envision is the oil that I always use when I want to sit down with an open slate and say, okay, let's look at the month ahead and what do I want to focus on? And Bridget also talked about, the creative juices. So inspiration. So if you were kind of saying, well, what do I want to bring in? And there's a bit of lack of inspiration, you can bring in your inspiration oil. This is a beautiful one. A lot of people who are artists or writers like to work with inspiration. So you could use it in your diffuser, or you could put a drop in the palm of your hand, activate it, make your scent tent, and just breathe in that inspiration, and always move it through your aura so that your energy field, becomes uplifted. And I can see that Bridget's picking up on the energy of that. And it is that take a moment for yourself and nourish your spirit, because, we are in pretty important times. And I think we are all being pushed to, or given that nudge to really follow what it is that makes your heart sing. And when we're not following that, that's when that anger turns into that that nasty, destructive energy. And when we are feeling light and full of inspiration, and we're wearing our oils, and we're giving ourselves permission to shine from within, everything starts falling into place, and you feel more centered, you feel more balanced.
Yeah, and isn't it, like I was saying earlier, like Uranus, this whole theme during the month is just do you. Do you as best you can, authenticity. It's just, so very real. And unsettledness. I'm so sorry. My dogs have just decided to go crazy today. That's why I've got up and down, and I'm like,
Oh,
it's
I
the
can't hear
energy
you.
for today. It's so hard
Yeah.
to just settle down. So
Yes.
yeah. Okay. So moving on to now a chunk of days that we have around the 27th. Sorry, blah, 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 22nd. All right. So 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So towards the end of the month, we're going to have a week. All right. So now, first of all, Tuesday, the 22nd, we have a Scorpio moon opposing Jupiter. But at that same time, the sun is at 29 degrees of Leo. So any planet or point at 29 degrees is powerful, because it's like the culmination of all of that energy in one point. So we've got all of Leo with the sun opposing Saturn. All right. So Saturn's saying, whoa there, restrict yourself. And the sun's like, hell no, I'm going to shine as brightly as I can. And Jupiter, so the moon in Scorpio, our emotions are going to be way down deep inside. And we're feeling it. All right. So Jupiter in Taurus also may make us, maybe we might want to indulge, feel our senses, because we're feeling uncomfortable. So the sun is like, let's do it all. And the moon is like, no, I just can't. So there's a lot of push pull. So, so that was the 22nd. Now the 23rd, the sun moves into Virgo. All right. So we're going to go from this out breath, this expansive place, to an internal place. Now Mars and Mercury are already there. All right. So this is the 23rd. So we go within, we quieten down, we take an inhalation. So we're more concerned with duty and caring for others, and our healthcare principles, and having things in alignment and structured in a very logical way. So the expansiveness of Leo that just wants to get it all done, we come back in. And for some people that can be quite a shock, so we need to calm down, because then on the 23rd, Mercury goes retrograde in Virgo. So, here we are, heads up, make sure that you back up all of your data. Make sure that if you're doing any sort of contracts, you double, triple checked all of the details. Any Virgo thing, if you have any doctor's appointments to go and get a checkup, Mercury retrograde in Virgo is actually a good time to go and do those revisions, reviews, restructures, all the rewords. But like I said, it's Virgo concerned. So definitely those healthcare principles. So yes. How do you sort of see that one?
Around all right, so the expansiveness and the Leo, I'm a Leo, so you're talking my language here. That expansiveness, and yes, I want this and I want this, and I can so relate to that. And
it just all gets sucked back in, and you're like, oh.
and bring it all back in. But I think then there's that thing of, well, allow that expansiveness. But to me, maybe it's a time where, okay, that expansiveness presents, but then that's that time to pull back and say, now, which part of this am I going to work with, or is the part that, or what do I need to do? Because yes, if we are all out there all over the place, we don't necessarily do a whole lot of things very well. So maybe on that, when we're going within, we could be bringing in clarity, which will help support the clarity of the direction or the clarity of what it is that you need to take on board or the steps you need to take. You also talked about, so yes, the Virgo and that going within. And then my mind switched to frankincense. And the affirmation I've got for that is I am strong, worthy, and powerful. It allows you to embrace your inner power. It detaches you from what's not serving you well. So we need to know that, and really this is the theme of the month. What's not serving us well? What do we want to put our boundaries up and around and for? And it's also going to be grounding and strengthening. So frankincense is the oil that helps us to tune into the divine, the inner divine, and or creator, source, God, to open those messages to bring positivity in, and do that in reflection, and just allow yourself to sit and allow the answers really to come forth, and with that inner strength, that knowing that you've got this.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's the self-care principles of Virgo as well. We might be feeling exhausted after the Leo month. We might have thought we could do it all, and now Virgo is like, do you need to have a little rest and
Yes.
have a bath, or go to a spa, or whatever your choice of healthcare is. But yeah,
Okay.
definitely a month of thoughtful care.
Okay, so this is what I do for myself each day. I've got a little sachet here, but we can get these in bottles as well. So this is our healthy, high antioxidant, highly nutritious. It's like you're eating bags of carrots and lots of vegetables, all the goodness in them. This is like a superfood, so it's got lots of good berries in it. Those deep red berries. It's the goji berry, plums, pomegranates, and it's infused with essential oils. And these are all pressed so that all the rind is in it as well. We know that when we peel our apples and throw the peel away, we might be doing our best to eliminate pesticides, but all of these, because they're all organically grown and sourced sustainably, they don't need to throw the peels away. So cold pressed, so all the nutrition is held in here. And so this is a really good thing to do for your health and well-being, making sure, like for me, I take supplements because I know that I'm not getting the nutrition through our food these days like we really need to. And our bodies are being bombarded by EMFs, bombarded by lots of chemicals, toxins. So it would be a good time for you to reevaluate what are you using in your home. What are you using that's got artificial fragrances that is going to impact on your endocrine system and put you out of whack? So there are so many women these days who are realizing that their health is being compromised because of the choice and things in food or chemicals, toxins within the home. And they're not just we can't avoid them because they're everywhere. But what we can do is give our body the best chance possible. So there's so many good choices we have with Young Living, and all our supplements are infused with essential oils as well, which they discovered helps our body absorb the goodness from the supplements as well.
Sounds amazing. Sounds so good at Virgo time. Sounds amazing. Right. So yeah, like what was it? 24th, Virgo, Mercury goes retrograde in Virgo. And while Venus is still retrograde, they're two of our personal planets, Mars and Mercury. Like we've got some personal challenges, in the air. Like we're absolutely reviewing our life. Have we made good life choices? Now is the time to change it. All right. So now just a quick plug. we've the 26th and 27th, because we've got a blue moon this month on the 31st, which means we have 2 full moons in one calendar month. Now, Metaphysical Launceston, I'll be doing readings there, so we can definitely book ahead because there are unlimited spaces. So that was just the quick plugs. Thanks, Kay.
No,
Now,
that's fine. Hang on, just let's rewind that, because what if I was living on the other side of the world, or I wasn't in Tasmania? So because how can we, can we still access your services if we're not living in Tasmania or somewhere near we can get to Launceston?
You can definitely go to my website, bridgetsastrology.com.au, and click the booking link, and I am available, obviously Aussie time, Monday to Friday. So, you can just book my booking link. But these are the Launceston, Metaphysical Launceston are in-person readings on the Saturday and Sunday. So, if you are in Tassie and you would like a personal reading, then please
sounds
join us. Yeah. So now the planet that I've been talking about the most, Uranus, goes retrograde on Tuesday, the 29th at around lunchtime. So, all of this outwardly expanding spiritual blah, blah, blah is, we're going to be looking within again. And oh my God, I feel like this month is like hyperventilating. Every time we have a planetary change and things like that, the in and out breath, well, Uranus is going to go in. So we've made great headway in starting to expressing ourselves. But we get to the end of the month just before the Pisces full moon. All right. So it goes the moon in Aquarius while Uranus is retrograde straight into the full moon in Pisces. So we might have some amazing insights concerning, we're doing the changes, and then obviously change will trigger us into digging deeper and doing more change, especially when Uranus does that station retrograde, moving into a Pisces full moon. And this full moon, whenever there's a Pisces something, I mean, Pisces is amazing, it is spiritual, it is blah, blah, blah. But Neptune is, he can be the guy that wants us to get drunk and be deluded rather than seeing the spiritual options in life, So like I was saying, this month is like, So we might get to the end of the month where we're dissociated. We're so full of change that we haven't, had the good self-care principles to keep us grounded. So there's dissatisfaction still with Venus retrograde and Mercury retrograde. We might be getting our energies being demanded, and it's Pisces, so we're exhausted. However, there will be that flame of confidence that just allows you to know that these lessons are playing out, and they have been all along, right? And this might be that Uranian aha moment within ourselves before we were able to place the spirituality on top of it, so that if there was a sudden and unexpected change, we might be able to instantly see the bigger picture reasoning for it. So we can establish some realistic goals and not get too far away from our from our inner faith as well. So it's Pisces full moon. Try not to push water uphill, because it's not going to work. You know what I mean? It's
so
slow and
yeah, beautiful. Now, and so I tuned into which oil I would be using during this time, and it's Awaken, and that's about awakening to your potential and possibilities. So I thought that fitted perfectly with your description of the full moon. And what did you say? The flame of confidence and insights. Yeah. So Awaken will support your ability to get that spark of insight so that you can move forward. Beautiful oil. And Bridget's talking about this roller coaster. So to me, it sounds like a roller coaster that we're going to experience throughout this month. So that's where the oils come in, and with the intentions of us being able to make a decision that we are going to navigate this. Yes, but I think it's really good to be aware of what's coming ahead, so that we can be prepared and take steps, like making sure you allow time for that inner reflection, time to go and have some grounding, spend some time in nature, and look at your boundaries so that you are not getting caught up on, the flurry of life around you, with your family, with your friends, with events and things like that, and plan your ability to just roll with the punches and not take it too seriously. And welcome Karen, who has joined us from New Zealand. So nice to see you here, darling. Karen made a decision to grab herself a bundle of oils this week, so she's going to be using these oils, and I'm sure she will be finding how centering and balancing, calming and uplifting they will be. So it's always a good choice to say yes to yourself. And on that note, can I pose a question to anyone who is listening to this and getting some good insights into things? My question to you is, how often do you put yourself first? And how often do you really take notice of your personal needs? Because I want to encourage you and invite you to do that, because when we get caught up in other people's, I'm going to call them currents or waves or even tornadoes, we get swept off our feet. We have our energy depleted. Then we start, floundering, and confusion sets in. And then we become part of that whirlwind as well. And not a lot is achieved apart from frustration. And I think for women, we are often challenged because we have that nurturing. We've got children, or even if we don't, we have that nurturing side of us within ourselves, and we take on other people's energy, and then we put ourselves down. We lose our confidence, and we often are very, we're more concerned about upsetting others than upsetting ourselves. And that's so detrimental. Bridget's going, yes, I can wear that.
No matter what generation you are born, I mean, especially with Venus retrograde, we're challenging the narrative all over the place. We've been conditioned to believe X when, current era reality is so far removed. And maybe I said X because I'm Gen X, but, we're being challenged all over the place with these outdated ideals that we're trying to live up to. So Venus retrograde, social beauty standards, like what ridiculous things do we have to try and live up to? No, inequality, like I was been talking about Lilith, that rage for us. The Barbie movie, oh my God, the Barbie movie was awesome. So good. They really brought up some really good social norms that they picked fun at. And I'm not going to, no spoilers, but if you do want to go and it was a good movie. It was a really good movie. But yeah, this month and next month, I'm still going to be talking about Venus retrograde, and here we are looking at our lives and how, as females, well, the things that we have to deal with, the seesaw that we're standing on, the adjustments that we have to make, the expectations that are placed on us as wives, mothers, full-time workers, cook, clean, all the rest of it. Like, that's still a norm that, that we're challenging and being demeaned over. And I'm sorry, I'm in a little bit of a soapbox
today. No, you're
today,
fine.
but,
you're fine.
Yeah, we're right in the middle of it. Like I said, that 13th of August is the midpoint. And so here we are, and the landscape we're navigating is in front of us. We can see it all, and it's like, what are you going to do about it? How are you going to change? And does it come back to boundaries, saying no, I'm not up for that, thanks for your consideration, but no, I can't do that at this time. Learning how to use new words to put boundaries up that are not going to offend people, because we do want to be aware that, you know, everybody is breaking the same norm, whether we're males or females. So
absolutely. And it is that thing of learning how to, you know, what can we do if we want to backpedal out of something where that people might be you know, trying to push us down a path that, you know, us saying, well, I actually don't really resonate with that, or it's not for me at the moment. So you can kind of express yourself without drawing that hard line in the sand once we start learning some new ways of handling things, or it's just not right for me at the moment, or, oh, actually, I've already got in mind that this is where I want to go, or for me, you know, this is me. And also, but having this acceptance, well, yeah, no, you go ahead, that's fine, you do that, but for me, it's not going to work for me at the moment. Maybe up the track. Today, it's not where I'm at. And even naming it up, things like, look, I've made a decision that there are things that I need to change. If you're living with someone, right, there are things around here that need to change, and I would like to make a time to talk to you about it, or I would like to make a time to have a conversation with you. I know some people, if you've got sort of, I have heard of the idea of when you've got some news to deliver that's not, you feel like it's not going to land so harmonically with whoever you're talking about. Well, something like, oh, I've got some news that I've got something to tell you that I think you're not going to be happy about. And then they kind of go, oh my God, what is it? You know, and they go down that path of, oh, it's the worst. And then when you deliver your message, it may not be as bad as they thought. So it's going to land a lot more softer. But making some little preparations, or even if you were in that outburst moment, oh, look, there's things, you know, there's so much going on within me that I need to talk to you, but now's not the right time for me because it's not going to come out in the way I want you to hear it. So some of these, learning how to navigate our conversations is so important. And Karen said that she decided to get a kit with the 12 oils because she wanted it to benefit herself, but also the other people in her home. And actually the other night, I hope you don't mind me sharing this, Karen, but we'd organised a time to chat, and Karen had gone and hopped in her car because there was so much going on in the house at the time that she wanted, it was great because she found a space where she and I could communicate. So she removed herself from the situation. And that to me is a really healthy thing to do. It's things are going a bit wild and haywire there, and I need my time. So instead of going, okay, look, I can't do this because things aren't going really well, it was, okay, I'm moving myself, taking a break and dealing with what I need to deal with. And these are the empowering things that we need to do, learning to make choices that are going to work with us.
And personal responsibility for your own evolution.
Absolutely. And even that thing, you know, this thing of, you know, August, it sounds like it's going to be, as you say, the push-pull, the tumultuous, the deeper looking for things. But isn't it wonderful that we have these opportunities? Because otherwise we're just going to glide over the top of all these things that we've suppressed and we're not happy with. And up the track, that impacts our health and well-being on all levels. And it also impacts our relationships with others because we're not being effective. And as we change, other people around us change. So another thing I learned, if there's that saying, if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. But if you are expecting somebody else to change, that's a bit of a waste of time because you have no control over other people. The only the point of control that we have is within ourselves. So if something's happening in your household that you would like to change and navigate, it is a good idea for us to change how we react or and start responding rather than reacting. And then if you change how you handle something, well, then it puts the other person in a situation where they're kind of going, oh my gosh, that something's different. And then they've got to learn how to navigate around that difference as well. So all these techniques, it's conscious conscious communication when we are doing that. And I know for me that was, I'm still learning. I haven't mastered it, but it's an ongoing. I call it like a work in progress, and I think we all are work in progress. Oh,
and I love that.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I love the fact that
all was quiet. So there you are. You're opening up to a new space. You're allowing a new path.
Yeah, I was just going to add to the end bit there is that, there is way more emotional intelligence and the language to articulate and the acceptance of people's vulnerabilities and feelings and things as well is growing consciously. And it's not something that we've had for a long time. Really it's only been in the collective for the last couple of years where people are able to really, really articulate what they're actually feeling. And I'm been watching it grow for the last couple of years, and I'm like in awe of where the next generations are going to be going.
Yep. So for the creative communication of our heart, the color turquoise is brilliant. This is the chakra here between our heart and our throat. So you can grab yourself a turquoise crystal, wear some turquoise, bring in, I don't know if you paint or draw, express yourself through the turquoise. And if you think of the ocean is that turquoise color, and it's the conscious connection through the body of water in that emotional, fluidity. And when we think about water, it flows, it changes. And, you think about the ocean, or even after a rain, when the water, a waterfall and things like that, the energy of all that, we need to grasp that. We need to become at one with that and allow that to help us project us forward in the right direction. And actually, I went into town today, and when I go into town from where I live, you drive along right next to the ocean, and today it's like a mill pond. And it was just like but very gentle, just small waves lapping at the shore. But the ocean was so calm. And yet another day you might go and it's like it's in turmoil, and it's, moving things around. It's bashing on the shore, and it's bringing the sand up, and it's, it's tumultuous. But we just know that whatever state we're in, things change, and it's not something that we are stagnant around.
That's it. Look for the bigger picture this month.
Exactly. And just know that we're on a journey, and we don't have to arrive at our destination. And we don't want to stay at our destination. We want to move. When we get to our destination, the first thing we want to do is hopefully enjoy it, and make sure you do enjoy it. But then typically, where to next? And know that is what life does. It takes us from one thing to another. To have a curious little soul here. So, Bridget, you've rounded this up, and I feel like I've got my seatbelt on. I feel like you've, given us enough inspiration and enough insight into the month ahead. And I hope that everybody else who has enjoyed this, hope this can make a difference in your life. Please make sure, if you feel that you would like some essential oils, reach out and I can help you with that. I also do inner transformational one-on-one sessions where I help to work out what oils are going to work for you. I help you to, if you are struggling with some of these things, like you've got some anger and you don't know maybe where it's coming from or how to deal with it, reach out and I can give you a one-on-one, and you will get your own signature piece of artwork, some essential oil recommendations, some affirmations, and inner transformation, so that you can really dig deep and get to the heart of what it is that is blocking you from opening up and expressing yourself with the full highest potential of who you are. And obviously, Bridget, you can have just an astrology reading or something more personal for the month. So there is a couple of options there for anyone who is ready.
I've got a special on a Venus reading as well, since Venus is retrograde and we're all, looking within. I've got a Venus reading as well I'm doing at the moment, which is
nice.
has been received beautifully as well. Because, we're all, it's part of what we're going through right now. So, we've got those ones as well. And you can also join me for morning guidance at Lifetime to Level Up, which is my private Facebook group. So, it's a safe space with a lot of amazing, mostly women, that, we come together in the morning and just help you get through those days where you're like, what is going on? So
absolutely. Now I've got to just check my spelling. I've got I like it, Bridgest. So there's Bridget's Facebook group, and my Facebook group is Kay's Essential Oil Wisdom. So if you would like to join that, reach out. I'll friend request you and gladly add you to the group. Or if you would even like a 15-minute clarity call with me, you can go to my website, kayhamilton.com, and jump on a chat, which is what we did with Karen, and we had a chat. I loved working with Karen because she said, yes, I've decided I want to get this kit. So we jumped online, and her kit will be on its way to New Zealand. So we are available. You can get these oils worldwide. So if you're in the US or England or the Philippines or somewhere, you can take advantage of our beautiful Young Living oils as well. So thank you very much, Bridget. I would look forward to being in your group, and I hope you navigate August delightfully. And you could always kind of go, well, I wonder what's going to open up for me. So if you look at things with a bit of curiosity and possibility, things will help you in all areas of your life. So from my heart to yours, cheerio. Thanks, Bridget.
Thanks, guys. Mwah.